Yes, welcome back to DR Sports for another enthralling edition of the weekend preview show. You've got myself, AGT, we've got Abby, we've got Nicky, we've got Matisse, and we've got Laurie in the building. Yep. Still no Robbie, still no Cecil. I'm hearing, unfortunately, due to Mikel Arteta's pickpockets, they've stolen their car keys, so they wouldn't make it in today, unfortunately. But make sure you smash that like button, get your comments in. We've got the dream team on today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We've got loads of super chats to get through throughout the show as well. So if you do want your comment to be read out without question, without it being abusive, then do send in a super chat and we'll have a good old show. We've already put the poll up for you for the Community Shield. Who's going to win? City or United? So far, it's a City slumpers on the cards, according to the chat here. Yeah, welcome. How are we? Everyone, we all good?
Yeah, well.
I'm just desperate for it to all be back to normal.
Yeah.
Desperate for the league to start one week.
It starts this week, though. Come on, the Charity Shield is...
we'll take the Charity Shield. I just need like
Major
regular programming.
Yeah. And you are wearing white and red today. Is this some kind of truce?
No. I'm still at 1 week. I can wear red until next week.
Still going. Still going. Right up until the deadline. Speaking of deadlines, right, there is a transfer window deadline looming in around about 3 weeks. And my team, Liverpool, I'm not saying it's done yet, right? Even my Twitter might say otherwise.
Be careful.
But it seems like Liverpool going in for the Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi, a player who's been on Arsenal's radar, Bayern Munich's, Barcelona's as well. 60 million euro release clause. I believe that's around 51 million pounds. When this news came through yesterday, it's travelled quite quickly, Abby, because he is a player that obviously we've been having a look at. It looks like he's keen for the move. I think now it just, the only thing that stands in the way is maybe personal terms. Do you think that move could be a needle mover for Liverpool?
I think you need it to be. You need to start signing some players.
Yes. Just
Honestly,
one would be great.
Yeah.
Really, with the only club in Europe who hasn't signed anyone. But
Really?
yeah, it's factual information. That is a stat, actually.
That is a true
That is a true
stat.
stat.
I believe you with that one.
Trust me, because I don't want that stat to be true.
I
But yeah, I'm really excited by this. We saw his prowess in the Euro final. I think a lot of people, when they saw Rodri go off injured in that game and saw Zubimendi come on, they were thinking, this is it. This is the chance to go and win the Euros. But he was brilliant,
He was
if
better.
not better than Rodri was in that first half. So
Better than Rodri?
He was better in that game.
Oh,
fantastic.
right.
Not
Okay.
better.
Not better than Rodri,
Yeah,
but he
of
was
course.
I was
better
going
in
to
that
say
game.
that's a bit of a
25
leap.
years old. The thing with Real Sociedad, he's a Basque-born player. He's born in San Sebastian. You know that Real Sociedad would like to look after their own. They give them 8-9 year contracts. They're very loyal. They look after them. For him to even be thinking about leaving
when they
must
do
be
it,
big.
it's loyalty, and when we do it, it's a problem. We give
I'm more
8 or 9
Well,
contracts because we love our players too. No,
Sure,
Just
but
wanna
this
take
is,
care of their futures.
this is the Basque country, not the billionaire bottle jobs.
No,
so
I'll
you
tell you
have
what
to
that
remember
is.
that.
That is classic football fan myopia.
Right.
When other teams do it, you criticise.
It's the way you do it, though.
Oh, it's the way we do
It's
it.
the way. It's
Give
not
them
what
too
you do.
much.
It's the way you do it.
Okay.
Tell me about Zubimendi then. What do you know about him?
Well, I mean, listen, I think your holding midfield position has been pretty much heavily reliant on Endo since Fabinho obviously dropped off massively.
Did a great job last season, Endo.
You had McAllister in there at the start of the season as well. He did a good job, but I think McAllister, one of the things with this move, you're just going to just guarantee that McAllister's going to get unleashed in that 8 role. He's such a good shooter from range, such a good passer, unbelievable value for money. To be able to bring that balance to your side and give that midfield a little bit of a rejig, I think is massive. Obviously, Endo's getting a bit older. I think he's like 30, 31, is he?
32, I think.
32, right? So you don't want to be relying upon him all season. And yeah, from the bits and pieces I saw from him, in
31, sorry.
Yeah, from the bits and pieces I saw from him, it looks to be a very good player. More possession orientated. Obviously, Barcelona wanted him previously, so I mean, judging by the way you guys are maybe going to play next season, it's different to Klopp, so we shouldn't be looking at Klopp's midfield and thinking how would he work in that. It's obviously Klopp now, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think it's an astute bit of business. It's a decent fee. It's not too much, so yeah, I think good age as well. So
good age. Nicky, do you think this one is one that Liverpool desperately needed when you consider the players that are available in that number 6 position? The age is the profile that Liverpool are looking for. The price is pretty much the market standard for a top team to go out and buy a CDM. Yeah. He does tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah, he does. And you know, you've had some good players in there over the past few years as well. Fabinho, who you lost, Thiago, who's Is he still there?
No, he's coach at Barcelona now.
Coach at Barcelona. There you go. But yeah, I think it's something that you needed to address. You know, as you said, Endo done well, but he's not got the longevity in his legs, and I think it would have been something that Slot looked at when he came in and probably targeted that as a main position.
Laurie, I've done my research on him. A lot of people say he's not the out-and-out destroyer type like a Ugarte is, like a Fabinho was. He's more of a controller. He almost sets the tempo. He's good in small spaces, can ping a pass, can break the lines. I think he scored 7 goals in 150-odd games for Sociedad, which obviously isn't his job. But when he does score, they are good goals, like most CDMs. They're probably goals from outside the box. It was monitored by Arsenal. Are you maybe a tad regretful knowing that he might be on the way to Anfield, but then again, you might be getting his teammate Marino?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think if you do get him, it'll be a good signing. From what I've seen, he does look a good player. And he'll definitely improve your side. The only thing I would question about him is his apparent lack of judgment, because how you can turn down Arsenal and go to
Do we sense
Liverpool.
a bit of bitterness on the table?
Who's won the title recently?
Yeah.
Who's won anything recently?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but yeah, you needed to sign somebody.
Silence.
Yeah.
You needed to sign somebody, and yeah, I think it would be a good move for you.
I also think it's part
Good luck
of
with
your
that.
like
Thank you.
midfield regen, isn't it? Like I know you saw it a little bit last season, but this is just like another one adding to it. So if you look at McAllister, Szbosolai, and then you add Zubimendi to it, that's a pretty decent midfield trio.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he would fill into this midfield. And I think, again, it goes to show that you let the experts do what they're doing. A lot of people were saying, why haven't we signed anyone? If I'm honest, it would have been nicer to have done this a month ago, to have him bed in for pre-season, etc. But wait till the
question,
window's
though.
done and then judge it.
Is he the manager signing, or has he just been brought in and the manager will have to manage him?
I think well, listen, the way the structure is now at Liverpool, it's almost, Hughes and Edwards use their data-driven analytics to go out and find the best player. They obviously present him to Slot and say, do you think this player, according to us, we think he's going to improve the squad based on X, Y, Z. Do you think? And I think, yeah, why? How could you not? I mean, his stats from last season were incredible. Got into that Spain squad. He's won the Euros, won the Nations League. I think he's won the Copa del Rey with Sociedad as well. So again, it's taken a lot of persuading for him to leave. It's not often that that club allows their star talents to leave. Do you
Well,
think?
I think he was on the record as saying that he was happy at Sociedad.
Yeah,
He
that's
weren't
what I
going
mean.
anywhere.
That's
Yeah,
what I mean. So it must have been a good deal. And again, this isn't done yet. However, do you think that Sociedad, having potentially facing to lose Marino and Zubimendi, that they've only got 3 weeks to go out and replace 2 players, but they're going to have a few quid in the bank?
Well, exactly. Money talks, and the Spanish league is not exactly flush with cash right now, is it? So
No, it's
Sure,
actually
Atletico.
the first time Liverpool bought a La Liga player since. Any guesses?
what was that? Say
The
that
first time Liverpool have purchased a player from La Liga since. Give me the name.
Alonso.
The year.
Xavi Alonso?
No, that was 20. That was the last piece of business we did with Sociedad 20
Yeah,
years
yeah, that's
ago
what I'm
this
thinking.
summer. But no, it was
Torres?
10 years after that. No. Any guesses in the chat?
Trying to think.
Gonna have to
La
push you for
Liga?
time.
How
Yeah, just
Liga?
any player
What you're saying,
direct from La Liga.
No, he come from Germany.
10 years ago? Oh, you're
That's
not
a
giving the
clue.
time range. Okay, right.
I'll give you It was 2014.
Who's in
Someone
charge?
has got it in the chat. I'll be honest with you. Don't look at your phones.
I'm not.
Cheating. It's now between
I'm
Nicky
not
and
guessing.
Laurie.
There you
Oh, God.
If I'm honest, he was one of my most hated
He's
players
an
at
absolute
Liverpool.
Bum.
I've got no idea.
He wasn't very
That's
good.
not many.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I love a lot of
I've heard
them.
you
He wasn't
express.
But
I'll
he
give you
is-
another clue. It's from Sevilla.
Wasn't Arbeloa, was it?
No,
Sevilla.
no. We bought him
That would be Real Madrid.
from Real Madrid and then sold him back to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Why did you hate him?
He was not very good.
Had a great debut against you. Ran down the wing,
Most people
slotted
do.
it bottom right corner at left back. There's another clue.
There's another clue.
But was absolutely awful between him, Mignolet, Karius,
What's the geezer's
and
name?
Lovren.
You know him, innit?
I know,
almost-
yeah.
I know exactly who you're
You
talking
know what
about.
I mean?
A lot
say
of
it.
mouth.
Alberto.
go.
Moreno.
Yeah.
the left back.
Right,
remember?
Yeah, I
the
do
short
remember
guy with the
Sevilla.
blonde hair.
Spoke a lot.
Correct.
Did play a lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't like him, mate.
He's pretty quick, wasn't
He was quick on his debut. But after that, it was all pretty much downhill. But
He took his shoes off. Took his rockets off his shoes.
the only reason why Liverpool fans actually like him now is because when Villarreal beat United in the final,
Celebrating,
he went on Instagram Live and
yeah.
went, "Manchester, get out!" But even still, I still hated him. to be
Could I
honest.
on midfielders, what's your thoughts on Szbosolai? Because I
He'll
know a
push up
few
now.
Liverpool fans, and yes, the jury seems to be out on him.
I wouldn't
Some
say that.
fans really rate him.
Was it?
Other people say that he was a bit
He started
underwhelming.
fantastic for
Yeah.
Liverpool last season. Then I think he was almost saving himself for injuries to make sure that he was going into the Euros as hungry captain and being their main guy. He definitely fell off in the second half of the season. There was a lack of energy, maybe. I think now, though, knowing that he'll have someone potentially behind him, it allows him and Maka to almost be a pair of eights, and then he can even push in to be a number 10 as well. I think out of all the midfield, this move, potential move, could benefit Szbosolai the most out of that midfield. And again, we know Slot likes to play either 1-10, sometimes 2 10s as well. So there's options there.
As
It's
long as
interesting as well. Zubimendi in and Trent out.
I didn't say it.
I know you didn't say it, but I'm looking at you for
I
a
got
bit
a look.
of...
I got a look of death. Then.
No, there's no way that he's leaving this summer.
Watch this space.
No way. But yeah, listen, I'm really happy and enthused by the potential move.
Yeah, you do look it. You do look
Yeah.
very
Just happy
encouraged.
to get a signing, aren't you?
Just happy.
Just happy.
Yeah.
Been a long summer.
It's been
Do
a
you
long
think,
summer.
You think it's a bit of pressure? Obviously, he's going to come in and probably have to start straight away.
Yeah, he might have to. He might well have to. I mean, Ipswich away, first day of the season. I'm actually going to the Sevilla game at Anfield this Sunday. I doubt he'll be involved in that at all if he's even signed by then, or if he even does sign. But yeah, I think first game of the season, I'd probably go with Endo. You know, he's got that year under his belt. You know, I didn't actually have anything bad to say about
No, he was
Endo for the
brilliant.
whole of last season.
Brilliant.
I think the first time he lost in the Prem for Liverpool was April against United. So listen, I'm really happy that Liverpool seem to be making moves, and you know, I'm not going to lie, it's nice to get one over on the other big clubs and persuade him through the door. I did tweet him saying there's some great tapas places in Liverpool, so maybe
God.
that's what has
Meet
potentially put
up with him
That's done
Sunday.
it.
You can take him out. Show him around.
If you are watching, Martin, give me a shout. So,
I'd love to know though
go.
why he would have turned down.
But did he turn
Arsenal
down
for
Arsenal?
it.
Don't know if he
Did
did.
he turn down Arsenal? Did Arsenal
He's
even
been a
offer?
long-term
I don't think
target.
he
Well,
did for Arsenal.
we don't know.
I don't
We
think
know.
Arsenal even put in an offer.
The narrative is that
There's a lot of
he
players
knocked
in
us
the
back.
Arsenal side, though, isn't there?
Sorry?
They're playing that position. They've got,
Yeah.
they've got
you've
players in there
three
already.
players
Also,
Yeah, but I
Liverpool,
mean-
Bryce
Liverpool's
Party and
probably
Jorginho.
second, third biggest club in the world. Like,
And then he's still there as well, isn't he?
it is
No.
you've got rid of him.
my brother.
third.
What was that? Sorry.
I'll take third. Well, listen, it is what it is. Again, nothing's happened yet, so
Yeah, they're saying switch topic now. It's not even.
let's just relax. Should we get into some super
The
chats?
Liverpool show. Yeah,
A couple of super chats. Sean says, "Good luck, Abby."
That Liverpool segment went on long, didn't it?
I wonder why.
12 minutes. It
Quite long.
clocked in that. Good luck, Abby. We need some new players. Coys, says Sean.
Yeah, new striker. Looks like that might be
Need a
happening.
striker.
Who?
Dominic Solanke. Looks like it's
Okay.
it's.
And if it does happen,
Might be
Liverpool
happening.
set to receive £9 million from that
Well,
deal.
that probably won't do it.
That was a
then.
Michael Edwards masterstroke back in 2018.
Yeah.
Still paying dividends. And he's gone away, and now he's back and gone, oh yeah, just earned us £9 million there. How much would you be prepared to part with for Big Dom?
Not as much as that's been spoken about, but I guess, you know, you've got a million different taxes on it, haven't you? English tax, you know, things like that. So striker tax, you know, to find an out-and-out striker these days with any quality is pretty hard to do. Strikers market's terrible, like in terms of the money in it and actually finding people that can put the ball in the back of the net. So I think they're looking at about 60, 65, I saw something in terms of a fee. It's a lot of money to pay.
Paid that for Richarlison, though.
Yeah, but I think that the only reason, if we are doing it, Richarlison must be going.
Surely.
Yeah, and I think for, you know, a fair amount of money, if it is true, he's been linked with Saudi. So, look, I want a striker. We've got money to invest. Would I have liked to necessarily see that maybe on someone like an Eze? Yeah, but I understand that maybe Palace weren't open to selling Eze and Elise at the same time. Plus, they've
Fair
got
enough.
you know, a really good young squad developing as well with you know, a good new young manager. So yeah, look, Solanke had a really good season last season.
Excellent.
And it's a decent signing. The only thing, and I'm not trying to be negative about it, it's just that the seasons prior to that weren't that great. So that's my only thing. But if I take it off of, last season, it would be a really good addition to the Spurs side. I think he'd fit in really well in the way that we play.
He's still young, isn't he?
Yeah, still young enough, 26 years old, good age, kind of in the prime now. And I think in terms of the way that Ange likes to play, maybe he would be a better fit than someone like Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, you want to also put balls into the box. Yes, he does bring people into the game, and he can do that. But if we look at the way that we cross the ball, everything we do is low and hard across the box. We're not, and cutbacks. We're not floating balls into the box. We just don't do that. Whether or not it's a quality thing, I don't know, but we just don't do that with our wingers. So someone like Solanke, who's going to be in that box, if you're putting those balls in or cutbacks, he'd probably be quite good for that.
If I asked you right now, there's 2 hats on the table: Ivan Toney for 60 mil, Dominic Solanke for 60 mil. You have to choose one.
I would pick Ivan Toney. That's my personal.
If I was you, I would.
That's my personal opinion. I think because it also, like I was just saying about the crossing, I think that gives you something a little bit different. But Solanke, I think maybe is a little bit more suited to the way that Ange will want to play.
Fair enough. Shout out to Swift Gifts in the chat. Is the West Ham guy Danny Murphy?
Yeah.
Think about the question that you've just asked. Is the West Ham guy?
He's got a name.
Danny Murphy. Since when has Danny Murphy ever played?
And he's also got a name.
Ham? And he's called Nicky Hulkinator.
I get that a lot, actually. I get that a lot.
Really? Danny Murphy?
A lot, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
I think it's a bit of an insult to you, if I'm honest.
That's nasty.
I think it's a bit of an insult. You're way better looking than Danny Murphy.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all good. Dragon says, random good news. My country, Indonesia, finally has a gold medal in the Olympics. Vedrick Leonardo in the male sports climbing. Fair enough. We did have a bit of a debate the other day about Olympic sports, what qualifies.
We did.
Male sports climbing. I mean, it is.
Climbing.
Actually, I saw that. Is that where they're climbing on the... Yeah,
like
I did see that. Yeah.
Climbing is a sport. Fishing still is not a sport, but yeah.
Right, well, I think it is.
I'm not letting that go.
Unfortunately.
It's not a sport.
It does look quite difficult, actually.
If you put all of them together, the running, the climbing, the shooting... I've got people in East London that win goals every time. You know what I mean?
Mr. Captain says, big up Mah Tice. It was good to see you in LA. Bless up.
Big up. Good to see you.
How was that trip, by the way? You made it in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, just about.
Your vlogs and everyone else's vlogs were sensational.
Stopped off in Norway, which is a beautiful place as well.
I saw that.
Definitely will be going babe, but this time on purpose. And LA is unbelievable. Yeah, what a place, man. Beautiful climate.
Saw you hanging on the bar. You beat Tobes.
Yeah, no, Tobes did win,
Tobes
but I think I gave myself a good
you
count.
did. Didn't you win a prize?
I did not know.
Unfortunate.
I did win the basketball, even though my form was horrendous. But yeah.
Said got injured that day.
Love to
see
sad scenes.
Shout out to Said. JJ says Chelsea is winning a trophy this season. #believe.
You'd hope so when you're in the Conference League, isn't it?
No, it can't. It wouldn't be at Wembley.
Wait.
You wouldn't win one there.
You be careful what you say. Like.
Sorry about that. That's your trophy,
to the
isn't
Don
it?
right now.
That's your trophy. Yeah. But yeah, at Wembley, terrible record. I dread the place now, which is mad because I used to love it.
Love the place.
We used to love it there.
You did used to be on smoke.
What's
there.
going on?
Utkarsh says Matisse and Abby, after 2 years of near heart attacks of Arsenal winning the Premier League, are you more hopeful or scared about Arsenal again missing out on the title?
I've already said I actually think they're going to do it this year. So
I don't. You're never going to get me to
What
say
are your
this.
plans next May?
I'll be long gone. I'll be long gone if that happens. No, I'm always worried. I never, the position that they're in. But this is, for me, this is a very much do or die season for Arsenal. So let's talk about that as the season goes on.
The thing is,
I'm not going to cast a judgment yet.
If they don't win it, they're not going to sack Arteta, in my opinion.
No.
Right? The fans might be really frustrated, really annoyed in terms of like, we should be winning it this season, but they won't sack him if they finish second again. So it feels a bit inevitable. I'm not gonna lie, and
but then it could also be very potchy, like when he was being like that, and then we had a big drop off, and it was, that's what I hope for too.
But they
We've
don't
got
have,
manifest.
They don't have
Today's
Daniel
a really
Levy.
big day for manifesting.
They don't have Daniel Levy, who's not going to reinvest.
To be fair, I think they've got to win something. Otherwise, I think the Sharks are going to start circling for a couple of their players. There's going to be players.
That's the hope.
They're
that
going
key
to
players
want to win
get
things.
where they have to move
that's
to win
inevitable.
Things,
I mean, people talking all the time about Saliba
to Real
and two
Madrid.
others. Yeah, but
Didn't Flex say Saliba is above Arsenal's level now? Flex
that would be my hope.
I don't think it was
by the way. Show your face.
Show yourself.
You're giving it all that on Twitter, but
No, there's no doubt that the pressure is on. But I do agree with you. I can't see Arteta losing his job unless we crash out and have a
No, but
really
you do
bad
have to win
season.
something. This
Something.
season.
Yeah, we do.
You have to win
Something,
something.
Yeah.
Emirates
sure.
Cup, maybe.
No, they could be bigger than that.
I think Zubimendi comes to Liverpool. It's exciting what they sold him to get the move. Be interesting to see who's next in, says Donny LFC. Shout out to you. 90 Stephen says, I wonder why none of the big 6 clubs are looking at Tony. 40 to 50 mil for a striker that will score 20 plus Prem goals a season for any of the top sides.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you know what though? I was looking at his stats. His stats are not that impressive.
Is that
Before.
post ban or?
Yeah, like pre-ban.
Pre-ban.
Yeah. I'll see a video.
He'll get
of
you
it on
15
it
to
this
20.
morning.
I think.
Yeah, I think you also have to look at
For a top
it's
team.
not being disrespectful to Brentford because obviously they've done a really brilliant job of coming up and staying and maintaining that level in the Premier League. But I also think that if he was in a better side or with more quality, I think that you'd probably see more of his quality.
More than likely, yeah.
But yeah, it is odd. So there's obviously something going on behind.
It would appear
the
that
scenes.
there's some question marks against his so-called
character.
attitude. But listen, if you see what Thomas Frank has said about him and other managers, they've not had a word to say. In fact, Thomas Frank's been very complimentary about his attitude and his professionalism. So
Look, I like the guy wants to go to the top. Yeah, I like that about any player, but it's the way you do it. You know what I mean? Like that,
I know you got
that
issues
club
over the way
has
you
got
handle
into the
Brentford,
Premier League
yeah.
and what
The
they've
way
done
you do
for
it.
him during
That's the way you do it.
something that he could have avoided himself. And they backed him.
yeah, I must admit, he didn't cover himself in glory
No,
with
he
that whole
definitely
betting
didn't.
thing.
No.
First, getting involved in that in the first place,
And then what he'd done when he was coming
Brentford stood
back.
by him, and then some of the comments that was attributed to him
Yeah.
afterwards didn't put him in the best light. But hey,
Hey ho, not our problem. Clara Bitsy, AGT, be honest, on your first date with your partner, did you also make these out of the blue Liverpool references during your conversations?
Definitely.
100%.
100%.
No, I don't think I did.
You'll
I was
never
in a
walk
right
alone, my
state. I
darling.
was at a
That's what you said,
festival.
isn't it?
Yeah, you'll never walk alone.
That's what I say now.
You never walk alone, baby.
Just write that.
Fucking take that.
Yadvendra, AGT steady, bro. We haven't signed him and got over the line yet with Zubimendi. That's what I said.
Steady, bro.
Steady.
Steady.
Relax. Yadvendra again says, if Liverpool sign Gordon, do we have the best attack in the league? Jota, Salah, Diaz, Cody, Darwin and Gordon.
Oh, that was off the table.
Yeah, I'm well over that. If you're telling me you'd rather Anthony Gordon over Luis Diaz, I can't help you, unfortunately.
Do you really think
as
it's-
if Everton fans didn't hate him enough?
Do you really think
Well,
it's
he's a Liverpool fan, so
Do you really
he
think
wants
it's
it.
that cut and dry between those two?
maybe not. But
'Cause I don't think it
on
is.
the eye test and
Gordon's
what
a lot
I've seen in
younger.
the last 2 years, I'd still go with Luis Diaz.
But Diaz,
yeah,
Diaz is a bit
I
older,
tend
though.
to agree with
Diaz is
Matisse.
like 5 years older.
I like Gordon. He's
5
quick.
years?
Yeah,
He's
Diaz
still-
is like what, 28?
No. he's
How old's Gordon?
27.
27. How old's
Gordon,
I thought Gordon was a bit younger. Maybe I'm bugging.
Anthony Gordon.
Was he like 23?
I think
To be fair,
at this
probably is
stage,
5
at
years.
this stage of their
23, so 4
respective
years.
4
careers,
years.
I would argue that Gordon's ceiling is going to be higher.
Maybe. But
And what I
right
would
now,
say about
I'm
Luis
still
Diaz, I
taking
do
Diaz.
like him as a player. He's tremendously talented. However, there is that knock on him in terms of end product, man. His finishing is
I do think, having said
at
that,
times pretty
Yeah.
woeful.
look, if Anthony Gordon is still having a good season next year and Diaz has maybe slipped a little bit, then that's the time to
But
make
it's
the
going
change.
to cost
I think.
you a lot.
Maybe
though.
a lot more next year, but right now I'm backing Diaz, man. And he wasn't.
I think
he
Diaz
didn't have problems
does-
with
Diaz-
finishing at the Emirates.
Diaz
did he, when
does
he
need to
smashed
step
it in
up
the
this
top
season.
corner? Hey?
Diaz
Hey?
does need to step up
He
this
does.
season.
I do agree with you.
You
He
got
does,
to
he does.
admit, his end product, his finishing
needs-
is not exemplary
I
by
think
any
last
stretch
season
of the
he got like
imagination.
15 in all comps. I'd like maybe 20. He does hit the post a lot. He is that guy. Not as much as Darwin Núñez, but he still hits the post.
But
a
maybe
lot.
Gakpo, because Gakpo had a good tournament in the Euros.
100%.
Um,
Darwin can play there. Jota can play there.
Yeah.
You could almost play whoever you want on the left hand. Clara Bitsy, when is the league prediction video coming?
Next week.
It's coming next week. Don't worry. Right, we're going to get a lot of quotes out of that one. I'm sure you'll find on DR Sports clips as the season rolls on.
I'm sure.
won't we? Let's move on then to the curtain raiser, the official curtain raiser. Manchester City versus Manchester United in the Community Shield at Wembley. The pre-season form looks like this. City have lost 3 and won 1, whilst United have lost 3 and won 2. So I don't know what you want to read into that. However, this will still be a Manchester derby down south. Any predictions for this one? I mean, it does matter and it doesn't matter, doesn't it?
It doesn't. It
Nicky's
doesn't.
not
It
in for it.
doesn't matter. I'll be honest. It doesn't matter one shred. I think Man United have shown now that they can beat City. I guess in the FA Cup final, Man City will be resting players. I think Pep said that he's protecting his players because of the federations have obviously had so many games, so many international tournaments. So we haven't seen really De Bruyne this pre-season. We haven't seen a few players. Alvarez obviously left as well, so there's no deputy in the striker position. So I don't think Man City are going to be going full throttle in this game. I think they're going to treat it like a pre-season game. So glorified, friendly, and they'll be ready for the Premier League, because that's when it really matters. And when that starts, these two teams will be nowhere near each other. So there's no point putting them in a conversation and saying, if Man United win this game, what does that mean? Because it doesn't mean anything.
Well, Arsenal won it last year, didn't they?
And they still didn't win the
And
title.
They didn't win the league. So I guess when you look back on it in May, you can then say it didn't mean anything, or it did.
I guess there's a revenge angle.
From City, yeah.
Yeah, City will.
I don't think they'll mind.
But yeah, I don't think it'll be that serious, to be honest.
You mentioned that Alvarez is leaving.
I will watch
It's
the
a
game,
big
though.
fee. Of course, we'll
It's
all
a very
watch
big
it.
fee.
It's a massive fee for Alvarez, which I actually think is probably
Fair.
because of how good he is. You mentioned that they don't have a deputy now for Haaland. Could we see another season where Pep maybe has a false nine when Haaland isn't playing? We've seen, is it Savio, come in. He's more like a winger, though. Do you think City do go for anyone else late on in the window, another striker?
Wouldn't surprise me, but it depends what and who they want to come in. Sometimes they do go for things that are out of the norm, like when we saw John Stones move into midfield a couple seasons ago. But they've still got so much quality. I mean, Jack Grealish had a really poor season last year. I mean, who's to say that he's not going to be utilised in a totally different way this year to get the best out of him? I think Julian Alvarez is a loss. Like, I think that, you know, having a backup striker of that calibre, when Haaland's not been injured, or if he's not having the best game to bring him on, like you want someone like that. But it's a big fee, but like we just said, it's a worthy fee, I think, of someone of his age and quality, and a good move for him. Definitely a good move for him. He backs himself to be a number one, but it's difficult. Who wants to come in and be number two to Haaland?
I think it's overpriced a bit. I'll be honest. I think.
What was the official fee in the end?
I think
It was 81, no?
81 million.
81 million pounds.
I must admit, my eyebrows
I wouldn't
did
have
raise.
paid.
They paid about 20 for him, didn't they?
11, I think.
11, 14, I think. About 14 or something. Yeah, I wouldn't have paid.
How good is he
81 million
then?
pounds.
I think he's a really good striker. I think he starts for most of us. I think he'd start for Arsenal. I think he would.
I think you
He'd
should have
sta-
gone for him.
Not at 81 million.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
not at that
But it depends. If you're looking at how old is he again? He's
Just
20.
he's 24.
Right, so 24. So
That's
you've
a
got
good
years
age.
on him.
Yeah.
He's not even technically at the peak yet. You know, he knows the Premier League. He scores goals.
Argentine international.
He's a good player. I think in
World
terms
Cup
of a
winner.
striker's market, like I said earlier, it's rare to get a really good striker that's got longevity, and I think he's a really good one. But I was going to say on City, this is the only thing for me where Cole Palmer would be perfect to come in and fill that void, and I think that they now might see even more the regret this season with letting Alvarez go and not having someone like Cole Palmer there. But then City always managed to figure it out. So
Yeah, that was the worry for me. As soon as I heard that they were selling him, immediately my second thought was, I wonder who they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And now they've been linked with Eze, by the way. So
I just saw a chat, it's not a super chat, but Leng and Sweet said Højlund went for 73 million. So if you're looking at the strikers market,
we're looking at that.
and you're looking at Højlund, who was unproven, and you know,
Still is.
it still is.
Bargain when you say that.
You know, I think you have to look at it and say, well, that's fair. Like Julian Alvarez is a far better player, more established player as well, with better quality.
I don't think they would have sold to Arsenal.
No, I don't either.
Not after they
I
sold
don't.
them Jesus.
No. I don't think so.
Going to United, I mean, it's a massive season for Ten Hag. He's hung on to his job by the skin of his teeth, by all accounts. They were obviously looking around the market, see who they could find. They gave him a new deal. Which players really have to step up this season and impress?
Rashford,
Yeah,
straight away, he's...
there's more pressure on him more than ever, being a local lad as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he, signed that big contract a little while back. He's had an awful season. His attitude's been questioned, and he's fallen off a cliff, really, when you consider he was like the golden boy a few years ago. Didn't get in the England squad. A lot of Man United fans that I know and I've seen questioning whether his commitment to the club. He's do or die for him this season, I would have thought.
Who else is on that list?
Casemiro, I'd say.
Well, I'm
That's where
surprised
it's
he's not
finished.
gone
I am
already.
too.
He's already finished.
I think that ship's
He's already dead.
yeah.
No, but,
How is he not left, by the way?
I don't know.
No one can
You would have
afford
thought,
him.
but you would have thought that you would have get him off a wage structure. It was a 5-year
He would have been
contract
my
he signed.
first name out the door.
Yeah, but you
As
can't.
soon as the season-
He's
I
on
know.
a 5-year.
He's
No
on a
one's going to
5-year
pay
deal.
and pick up the wages
That's
as well as
glue.
have a
Whoever-
contract.
unless it's
Like,
Saudi.
Whoever
This was
stuck that deal down on the table.
Yeah,
for him,
terrible.
he'd sack it.
terrible. But he'll probably end up being more of a bit part
20 million.
player.
You don't think they
Yeah.
can
He
afford for him
came
to be a
with,
bit part player? Well, who's
They
gonna-
can't afford for him to be starting if it's anything like last season.
No, he came
They
with
can't.
a big reputation. You know, they'd signed the best player in the world if you spoke to any Man United player a couple of years ago, and then he talked about fall off a cliff. That was a disgrace, what I see from him at the end of the season. Disgraceful for a player of his calibre. But I just think that shows the troubles that the club have. Look, I think they're on the way back up now. I do think they're doing some smart business. But their transfer policy in the last few years,
That's been awful. What is the
Non-existent.
what is the
Non-existent.
Jadon Sancho situation? Because if he's going to stay at Manchester United, then he also it's on him too to have a
he's
really
on the
good
list.
season.
I'm looking at more Jadon Sancho is that they're allowing him back into the fold to
sell him.
possibly move him on. That's what I don't really see him as a
Shop
long
window.
term.
Not a long term plan, but I don't think he's going to go this summer. It'd be highly unlikely at this point.
Which would mean he still has to play well.
Absolutely.
needs to play
So
well.
To get a
he has
sale.
to get minutes and he has to start. So you're looking at Sancho to either revitalise and revive that career at Manchester United, or have a really great season so you can go anywhere you want and you're worthy of the price tag. So he's definitely. on
I
the
think
list
the
of someone.
owners have said to Ten Hag and to Sancho, look, let's just get round the table. We know you got your differences, but listen,
They paid
He's
a lot of
got-
money.
yeah,
it's
When it
not
gets to
beneficial
January,
for you
you
to
can
sort
leave
it out,
for-
and then you.
how
can
old is
go-
he?
24.
3.
I'll take
25.
I thought he was 24.
There's still a
24.
player in
I
there,
thought
man.
24.
There is.
He had a good
There's
Champions League campaign.
Yeah, he did.
I think you can add Anthony to this list as well.
Oh God.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you,
How
if,
he
you, if,
did
you,
that.
want, if you want to talk about an
He might be
overpriced
top of the
player,
list.
he's worth about 1/4 of what they paid. Like, if you want to talk about
Who's
someone,
this?
Anthony, you want to talk about someone on a
I
list
don't know.
to,
Do you remember the song
prove
I done
themselves.
last Christmas? Do you remember that?
What was
I
that?
vaguely remember the song.
Yeah, the
On the 12th.
yeah. I've done something about him.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah,
he's a
something like
flop.
Oh yeah,
He
I
is
do
on
remember.
Yeah.
that list, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of the worst signings in their history. I think
He's
Manchester
one of the
United
worst
fans-
signings in Premier League
Premier League.
Also,
history.
we've also got to look at Mason Mount. I know he had his time with injuries.
God,
we're just really
We just
Most of the
forget
team, to be
about
honest.
Mason Mount,
Mason Mount.
but they paid
Forgot
Mount. But
all
look,
about
in fairness to me, he had a bit of a torrid time with injuries last season. But you want to start seeing these players that you pay big money for, whether that is an Anthony, whether that's a Jadon Sancho, whether that's a Mason Mount. I mean, we're being quite nice to Højlund because obviously the age thing as well, when it was his
He's on
first
the list,
season.
mate.
But he's on the list,
had a
like
year.
big money.
I actually forgot Mason Mount was
Big
playing.
money you've paid, or big contracts like Rashford, like Casemiro. They've got to step up. Like
Right.
you have to. You know
what? It's strange because all those players that we've named, Sancho, Rashford, Højlund, we can throw in there, Casemiro, Mount, they're all on that list. But I do think there's a separate list where there's going to be a few superstars born out of Old Trafford this year. I'm looking at Lenny Euro, who's come with massive credibility.
Kobe Mainoo.
I'm
Diallo.
looking at Amad Diallo. From what we hear on United
Yeah.
View, he's the one that everyone
Well, he looks
is going
good.
to be surprised at next
Kobe
season.
Mainoo.
Kobe
Yeah.
Mainoo.
We love Kobe.
I do think as much as there is a horrendous
Batch.
trash list, you have got another list on this side, which, like you said, is building them up for the future as well. So
You're out for 3 months, though.
One player that could be on his way out apparently is McTominay.
yeah, I mean, I don't think they respect him enough. I think he's a really good player, and he's obviously come through the academy. They've obviously tried to move him on to. Was it you last year?
Yeah, we tried to sign them
There's
both.
bids that have gone in. He stayed in the end, did well.
He would have done
Probably their
brilliant
best
on the
player
Moyes.
last season. He would have.
Yeah. He's a
Again,
Moyes player.
He's maybe a little bit disrespected
I think so.
by United.
Saved them a lot of times as well last season.
He had a good,
100%
good goal
he did.
scoring
He
record
did.
last year, even
And for Scotland.
Yeah.
We should
Absolutely.
mention players from other clubs just to show we don't have bias.
Yeah, we should.
Brennan Johnson,
Yeah,
Kulusevski.
absolutely.
From other
Other clubs.
I'd even say Madison.
Absolutely.
You know,
You've Basuma.
Bassuma's a big one.
I think Richarlison will be gone.
Basuma's a big
I
one.
can never with Richarlison. I will always say his work rate is second to none. Like, I've got no issue with the work rate. He's just he's just not. He was never a £60 million player.
Not that good.
It's just not that good. But he definitely knows what it means to run around and play for Tottenham and wear the badge. So I'm never like on his case
Give him
that
another
much.
year then. He runs around.
I'm never but like you get players that come on and you don't necessarily see them do anything, or I wouldn't say that's Richarlison. But you're absolutely right. We paid lots of money for Brennan Johnson. And I did see a bit of an improvement as the season went on, but that nearly £50 million. He needs to show up. I was talking about this the other day about Kulusevski. I think this is a very big season for him as well. Obviously came in set it on fire and everything for the first 6 months of the season, and then really did drop off. You need to be seeing these players actually contribute and pick up the slack, because at times we were so lacklustre at that front line last season. Son is getting older. Son is 32 years old. You can't just be reliant on him, which is why we also need a striker. Timo Werner, you've gone and decided to get
Forgot about him.
another winger that necessarily doesn't put the best cross into the box, and
No, but the thing is, you guys knew that about Werner before you took him on.
If you would have asked the fan base and asked them, would you have liked to have signed Timo Werner? The majority
Probably
would have said no.
no.
But it was the most Spurs thing ever.
Should we get
Most
into
best
predictions then for this curtain raiser, the Community Shield, the Manchester derby at Wembley on Saturday, is it?
Yeah,
Saturday.
3 o'clock. Good time for a kick-off. Nicky?
I'm going to say 2-0 to Man City.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was 2-1 City.
I'll go 3-1 City.
I'll go 2-1 City.
I'm going to keep it clean across the board. Yeah, City 2-1. I think they might have some motivation for wanting to put it right, because they were disappointing, weren't they, in that FA Cup loss?
Picked up a few injuries, United, as well. Pre-season.
Just before we move on, I just wanted to touch on other players that need some work.
Hold on. I'll say it.
Should we start with your eight goalkeepers?
Hold on, I'll go through them.
I saw your squad
I'll go
photo.
through them. Sanchez.
Yeah. Can you name them all?
Yeah, I don't think.
Can you name our whole squad?
Even sure everyone except
I'm not naming all the goalkeepers.
Try though.
But I'm naming the players that are under massive pressure.
But could you name your whole
No, because there's
squad?
some academy
Could you name your whole
goalkeepers.
squad?
I could name all of them, but there's
Okay.
some academy goalkeepers that no
That's
other
another
club would have
video.
included in the list. But for us, they just want to make a point, so they're just
Didn't
going
you
to
just buy someone an hour
include
ago
them.
as well for 30 mil?
Probably did.
Who?
You don't know.
They
Go on.
don't.
AI.
I'll go check it later
Go
and
on,
I'll do a video.
call out who needs work.
Yeah, come on.
Badiashile, Sanchez in goal. Colwell's under pressure. Enzo Fernandez under massive pressure.
Vice
Massive
captain,
pressure. Mudrik's under massive pressure. Sterling's under massive pressure. Madueke's still under big pressure as well.
Yeah.
Going to give Caicedo a pass.
I'm going to leave. Caicedo was good last season. If people actually watch Caicedo,
he ended well.
Caicedo was very good last
He
season. I'm
ended
going to leave
alright. I'll give you
Caicedo
that.
out.
Started awfully.
He had a few bad games and that got magnified into a whole period. And but Caicedo was
it's
actually
115 million
I hear
quid.
that.
You want better than
100%.
All right.
You're not gonna. He's not gonna be ever worth 150 million in my opinion. He's worth
Depends what
80
currency.
max. Well, yeah, it depends what currency, yeah, but not British pounds. You know what I mean? So
we was trying to sell Declan Rice.
You've got players I've never heard of. Yeah.
44 in the squad, you know.
saying that.
but
Why do you need
we saw
eight goalkeepers?
Declan Rice for England. He's not worth 150 million pounds
goalkeepers.
either.
It's worth more.
Oh,
He's not, though.
Didn't you say you wanted to give Arsenal more money?
Do
at one point?
not let the England performances cloud your judgment about Declan Rice. We had a chat on when we did our Arsenal watch along yesterday, and we were saying that the Declan Rice that I saw playing for England was not the Declan Rice that was playing for.
Hopefully it will be.
That is the only set. That is the most consistent set of bad games I've ever seen him have ever.
See, then
And that
you've
was
got
4 in a row.
Yeah.
and then that begs the question: how
Why?
is the manager deploying him?
Yeah,
Because
that's true as well.
This stuff about him not passing the ball forward and not getting out of his
Nonsense.
half, that is total antithesis to what we saw at Arsenal. So
Yeah.
you've got to ask yourself, it's got to be down to how he was being asked to play or how he fitted into that
I
system.
think it's quite obvious when Partey comes into that team, he's better in the build-up. And Jorginho has his values in that area as well. I don't think Rice is perfect at everything.
No, but you know what? That's also his strength, his versatility, as Nicky will attest to. He can play in different positions.
Just back to United. A lot of players that we didn't even touch. Just back onto United, I think it was this morning, they were linked with Sander Berge from Sheffield United. The midfielder.
Yeah,
Lady in red.
Midfielder.
Nice, John De Boer that was.
Oh, okay.
Sander
Norwegian
Berge.
midfielder.
We were linked to him about 3 years ago.
Who was linked?
Sander Berge.
No, who was?
Oh, United. Midfield replacement this season. United fans, let us know. Does that one excite
Sounds
you?
slightly uninspiring.
A little bit. Also linked with Yusuf Fofana, the French defender. In the other way, they're looking at maybe moving on Wan-Bissaka, interest from West Ham and Inter Milan. East London, Milan.
East London, mate.
East London all day long, surely.
We're on a title charge this year.
If you were to accept Inter, maybe Denzel Dumfries comes to United. Apparently he likes them. They are also looking...
Player, by the way,
he is.
Dumfries.
He did well at the Euros, actually. They are also looking to invest £2 billion into the new stadium, which would be like the Wembley of the North. It would then rise the capacity to 100k. It would be built next to Old Trafford. It would probably take around 5-6 years to build.
100k.
And Old Trafford to be reduced in size to around 30 to 35k capacity to become the home for the women's team.
You know what I would say about Man United?
United news there.
What I would say about Man, obviously they've got problems on the pitch, but I've got to say that the new owners appear to have a vision, and they appear to know what it takes. They've got some people on that board that know what they're doing, so I would imagine it's a work in progress, isn't it, if you could say that about United. I know that sounds a bit incongruous to say that about United. However, I do think with the new owners in place, you are going to start seeing incremental improvements year on year.
They'd hope so, yeah, for sure. Say in the chat says, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Probably will age like milk. Who's that about? Is that a Taylor Swift song?
It is, but
I don't know what it's about. Chelsea FC Enjoyer says people have been on Chelsea's head, but United have done some stinky ass business recently. Anthony, Mount, Amrabat, Evans. That's a bit harsh to put Evans in there, to be honest.
Evans had a good season.
Yeah, he's their best player, mate.
Yeah.
Black Academic says, Nicky, what do you make of Moyes' comments about there not being a West Ham way of playing football? You were asked this on Monday. I actually did watch the interview.
I watched it as well.
What
on
is
Simon
West Ham
Jordan.
way?
It's a bit of an insult, wasn't it?
I like Moyes. Sam said the same thing. When you're getting slagged off by the fans, it's a very easy thing to say. I think he knows exactly what.
Did you like Moyes? I always got the impression that you weren't too keen on him.
I did like him. I liked him
Gave
for
him
what
the best
he
night of his life.
done with West Ham, and I liked him for what he done. I think the way he ended was disgraceful. I really do, and I think he should have been sort of relieved of his duties a lot sooner than he did.
Yeah.
But I can't really detest that to him. He's never going to go out there to lose games, but I wanted him gone. You know what I mean? And I made it quite clear I wanted him gone. But in general, when you look across the whole 4 years, he never done a bad job. But you're only as good as your last game, in my opinion.
No, I just seem to remember you and Lawless. There's quite a few calls
when he first
Moyes
came
out.
in. I wasn't happy, but I'm happy enough to change my mind as it goes. You know,
Yeah.
and I
Was that the
react
first
to
or the second time?
the second time. First time, we was in trouble, big trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it
would took
helped
my
you
teeth
out
if it had been down there. But he got us out of that trouble. I wasn't really taken by the style then, but we had a couple of seasons under him when he came back in, and he seemed to want to change things, and he got people in like Lingard who just hit the ground running. 9 goals in 12 games for Lingard, you know what I mean?
He should have made the move that summer.
He should have, yeah. He
Big
ruined his
mistake.
career by not going.
Definitely.
But you know, over the 4 years, you know, we had 2 really good seasons.
Yeah, and he did
won a
stabilise
trophy.
things there, didn't he?
But
Yeah.
by the end, and you're seeing this with the new manager now, he couldn't get the best out of his players. He had an aging squad. He was letting players go left, right, and centre. He was falling out with people. You know what I mean? He likes to use a small amount of players, and he's got his first 11. And there was, you know, people like Ben Rama, Fornals, and all that. They was committed to West Ham, and they just wanted out. Ings was the same. He wanted out because I had somebody I know had a conversation with Flynn Downs recently, and he didn't have any good words to say about David Moyes. You know, so
Definitely not.
yeah. So
Quite.
It's my belief, though, and I've said this before on other shows, I think with most managers anyway, you have a certain shelf life at a club.
Yeah.
yeah.
Once that's come and gone, mate, it just...
Give me the best night of my life.
Yeah.
He really did that. That trophy win was the best thing over there. But I did say at the time as well, I think another manager could have won that trophy with the competition we had in that trophy and the squad we had. I think another manager would have won it as well.
But he is the one that did it.
But he did it, yeah, he did it. And, you know, to be fair, even last season, you know, we was poor last season in terms of play, we'd give Leverkusen a good go. You know, they're a good side of Leverkusen.
We give them a good go as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get onto that very shortly.
Going over. That's what we do. But anyway.
Jesus.
Pre-season trophies.
AGT, we are cooked, bro. Check Theo Squire's latest article in the Echo suggesting Zubimendi could be staying at Sociedad. I did see something like that earlier, but I trust my team to get that one over the line, hopefully.
Really mad show for you next week.
Could be, if it doesn't happen, for sure.
Are you not
Make sure you're watching. One of one says Liverpool top 2 with a new CDM left back, West Ham top 5. JJ Matisse, do you consider Mudryk a flop or not yet?
I think
Got about 5 years left on
this season is
15.
This season is do or die. I think, as people have been saying that phrase quite a bit. Personally, I'm not confident in him. I didn't want him to sign in the first place. I think we massively overpaid. I think we got drawn into a situation because Arsenal were interested, and then we suddenly, pulled up on the scene and hijacked a move. I don't think we needed to hijack, but if he doesn't show his quality or whatever attributes he has this season,
what is his quality apart from speed?
You tell me.
He's got lovely hair.
Guys wanted him. Do you know what I mean?
He's got lovely hair.
Apart from the pace.
Not anymore.
Which is cut now, by the way.
Shaved it off. Did he really?
Apart from the pace, we're clutching at straws. I remember when we had Timo Werner, and it was a similar situation. Just technically, his base is not good enough. Doesn't dribble well enough.
I think you're being too harsh. Just judge him at the end of his 32-year contract.
Yeah, when he's 60, then you can, then you can say it.
Yeah, well,
it's ironic actually that one of his best games for Chelsea last season actually came against Arsenal.
Yeah,
it was the cross goal,
cross-come shot.
Yeah, he definitely
struggled
meant that.
to score for a long time, didn't he?
This is
struggled to do anything.
Yeah, it was a joke.
But I would say this about Mudryk though.
He did. He was brilliant that game.
Cooked Milner.
I would say this about Mudryk. He's got frightening pace, and if you put him in the right team with the right players around him that can give him that service.
Or maybe he needs to play in a
something.
team that plays low blocks and then just counters. Maybe that's the team he needs to be playing.
We will speak about Arsenal. I know people in the chat are dying for it.
Let's talk.
Sai says the Community Shield potentially has more credibility to a manager if he's the one who's won the FA Cup or Premier League to get there. Yeah, I agree for sure. Let's speak about Arsenal then. It was a resounding hammering last night of the invincible Bundesliga champions. It's really nice for Arsenal fans to see Granit Xhaka returning. There was a beautiful moment between Kelechi outside the hotel of Leverkusen.
Yeah.
He met up with Xhaka. Have you seen this clip?
No.
Xhaka asked, Kelechi from AGT. Xhaka, I think Kelechi's given it the whole, great to see you. Xhaka 3 times says, how are you? How's the family? Everything good? 3 times. And I'm like, wow. There's still that connection there with the fans. It was 4-1 in the end. Xhaka did get a standing ovation as well.
Yeah, he did. It was nice to see Granit back. Didn't have the greatest of games, but no one did on their side. Basically, the game was over in the first half.
10 minutes.
We scored
maybe
early, and then we got 2 goals in the space of a minute. And Arsenal looked good. I liked the energy. I liked, I liked what we did yesterday, and we kind of really.
Jesus scored as well.
Yeah, he did.
Zinchenko scored.
Trossard.
Havertz.
Yeah, so it was pretty comprehensive. And like I said, it didn't flatter us. But as Abby will no doubt tell us, it's only pre-season, so nothing to get too excited about. But there are certain players that are looking good already.
Who's that young player that you have? Was he playing left back?
No.
Was he playing left back?
Ranieri?
No, not Ranieri. Another young player that you guys have got coming through. I think I saw him play on the left-hand side.
Nichols.
But I'm not sure. It's a double hyphen name.
Oh, Miles Skelly. Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? What
yeah, he
position
looks
does
good,
play?
man. Yeah, I mean, he can play again with Arsenal. You're getting guys
Lewis
that can
Skelly,
play different positions. Miles Lewis Skelly. Yeah, so
Yeah, a lot
I
of
like
youngsters
he looks
came
good.
on.
he does.
Ramsdale didn't even come on yesterday. It was
Well,
unused
we
sub.
had a
Surprised he's still there.
debate amongst myself, James, and Turkish about Ramsdale, and it's
Sure that was
interesting because
heated?
those guys, they're pretty much we're not that bothered about Ramsdale, which is I think it's a bit of a shame because it wasn't that long ago that Ramsdale was becoming a bit of a cult hero.
But
of
you guys
Arsenal
are in your
fans.
ruthless era.
I feel a bit disappointed with the way it seems to be ending up for him because he just seems to be in no man's land at the moment.
Maybe he was too involved in his fidget spinner that he couldn't.
From the moment he said that he struggles to concentrate and he needs to interact.
That wasn't
with
a good
You
look.
shot yourself in the foot
You
there,
shot yourself
big
in
time.
the foot, you know.
But then
Or
you
the
could
glove.
also say the same for Jesus when those comments are
He said that he
attributed.
doesn't want to score goals.
No, he didn't say he doesn't want to
Nah,
score
they
goals.
don't come natural to me.
I know,
He said words to the effect.
They
I'm
don't come
paraphrasing.
natural.
He said that no, that scoring goals is not the strongest part
Not
of
my
this game.
thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting to see as you go up the league, the more ruthless your fan base becomes. We've become a lot more tolerant as a fan base than we were, say, 5 years ago. We wouldn't accept any BS, and we'd be moving players on like that if they weren't performing. Your club and your fans are starting to get so close to that title now. They're not playing around, and rightly so. Like, you have to be ruthless.
This ain't Sheffield United
I'm
anymore.
quite surprised you still got some of those players on your books.
You could
Yeah.
get a few
Just
quid
yourself.
for him as well.
Yeah,
and
you
I think
could.
you've just released another goalkeeper, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it looks like Carl Hines going to go.
Carl Hine, yeah.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
what's interesting about Ramsdale is that he's not played a single minute of pre-season.
That's how it should stay. In my
Single
opinion.
you
minute
would
of
have thought that-
pre-season. Surely you'd think, right, play
He
him
might be on
again.
his way
Exactly.
out. He
You
might
know,
be on
in
his way
America,
out.
maybe.
Trying to sell him.
Yeah, he might be on his way. He might already have something arranged.
Don't want to get injured.
No, but that was the rationale behind Hine playing, because apparently there was interest in him,
what
so
I
they
did.
were trying to. And that move is would
So it's a
apparently
bit of a
seem as-
contradiction.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. A bit weird.
Can you answer this question? When are we going to see Calafiori?
Good question. I think Sunday against Lyon. We got that game coming up on Sunday, and to all intents and purposes, Calafiori will make his much expected debut for Arsenal in that game. I thought we would see him yesterday, but word on the street was, I'm not sure if it was official, that he was a bit tired, which is somewhat.
Tired, bless
He's
him.
been
Bit
talking,
strange.
he's been talking like a lot of.
I mean, a guy
There's
is
been
like.
a lot of comps, a lot of hair flicks, and
Yeah.
it's been
A
tiring.
lot
to
of
be fair.
aura, chat.
It has been tiring.
There's a lot of aura.
I want to
lot
see.
of
I want to
aura
see some.
chat.
I want to
We
see
wanna see some
I want to see
action,
some
yeah.
defending. Do you know what I mean? I want to see
exactly,
some slide
exactly.
tackles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
No one's interested in the aura.
Because listen, we've
aura.
not paid that amount of money
It's
for him to be
expected
sitting
aura
on the
per
bench.
game.
No,
You
for
pay
sure.
money for aura.
No.
But then someone's got to
Ridiculous.
sit on the bench, Laurie. You know what I mean? You're going to
probably
Timber
gonna
will
be
have to be on the
Zinchenko.
bench.
But you're gonna-
Zinchenko.
Yeah, but you're going to
Kiwior.
So the deal with Calafiori is he's a left back come centre back.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
can play both. The centre back positions are pretty much nailed down, aren't they?
Saliba,
With
Gabriel.
Saliba and Gabriel. I don't think they're going to break that partnership. However, the left back position now is open for him to come in and play, because I would imagine that Zinchenko, who played well yesterday, by the way, scored a good goal. That would be the position I would imagine they've earmarked for him at the moment. So
If you're Jurian
see.
Timber, right, and you get injured first game of the season, horrific injury it was, and you see Calafiori coming in, how would you feel? Because that's him
Yeah.
maybe stepping over him in the pecking order straight away without
Well,
even having
welcome-
played a minute. No,
Welcome to the top level.
Timber again, another one who can play in different positions. So
that's what I mean.
But that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Centre back
but
too.
that You need
Midfield.
that.
You need
You
that.
need that
depth.
quality.
Yeah.
100%.
But that's four left backs. I can count.
No, but if you look at it like this, what's the deputy for Saliba and for Gabriel? It's Calafiori and probably Timber.
Exactly.
So them playing fullback but
versatile.
also playing centre back is going to be able to help them.
Timber can also play midfield too.
Tomiyasu can play. What Arteta's doing is nasty work. It's very Tony Pulis. He is just
Tony Pulis?
He is, yeah, he's
Rory
yeah,
Delap's
I'm
coming
gonna
next
call it
week.
what it is. Just because he's Spanish, yeah, I'm gonna call it. He's lining up centre backs across the back line.
I wonder where he got that
Clint
idea
Hill,
from.
Ryan Shawcross. Do you know what I mean? He's just lining them up. They're
original,
all
yeah?
6 foot plus,
There's nothing
and they can all
original
play
about it.
anywhere. It's very much Tony Pulis.
I would.
It's Tony Pulis. It's Mikel Pulis.
John Waters, Rory Delap, Crouchy.
I wouldn't have thought that was a natural comparison, Tony Pulis and.
When we start seeing Ben White flinging it half the way across the pitch, then
Yeah.
we'll start.
But it's no secret that Arteta does like players that can drop into different positions. He's a big fan of inverting. He's a big fan of players swapping wings and playing in different positions. You see with Havertz, 1 minute his minute. I mean, he started off in midfield
He was
yesterday.
a left
played up
back for
top.
Germany at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but with
Maybe he can play there as well.
Yeah, there's another
How
one.
many left backs? you
maybe
got?
that's
You
the
got like
modern.
5 left backs.
Maybe that's the way football's going.
Versatile player.
Tell you
They
what,
got a lot of left
I'd
backs.
like your
Rice
opinion
can
on
drop
this,
into
right?
Ben White up
It's
front.
true, he
I'd
can.
like
Yeah.
your opinion on this. This was
Yeah.
reported this morning. At a dinner with his players,
right,
Arsenal
yeah.
manager Mikel Arteta secretly hired a team of professional pickpockets, the sleight of hand artists, were tasked with going around the tables, pinching phones and wallets from unwitting first team squad. At the end of the meal, Arteta stood up and asked the team to empty their pockets. A number of players were missing valuable items, right? The idea was to teach his squad, guys, be ready, be alert, be prepared at all fucking times. Fucking.
Now I've got apparently that story's true, and I've got a couple of points.
By the way, can I
wanna
just
make.
ask another question?
That
Where
was good,
do
innit?
you-
It was good in itself.
Cheers, Seth. Where do you hire a team, not just one or two, a team of professional pickpockets, and then how do you integrate them within the mill so everyone's like,
Okay, so you
"Hang on,
get
what-
them to wear
give me my
Arsenal
phone back."
trackies. get little initials on them. They look
Surely
like,
they'd be the waiters of the
Yeah,
restaurant.
you don't know.
Gotta be,
You
yeah.
never know.
You've got to be.
yeah.
Have to be waiters.
Bro.
Secretly.
So you don't want them in tracksuits?
No, they could be
20
waiters.
people turn up in a tracksuit.
Have you waiters?
It's more coaching stuff.
One, I couldn't understand.
Four more
more
left
coaching
backs
stuff.
have just
No,
walked in.
you're definitely a waiter.
Set piece coach
you'd
there.
have to
You know
be.
what I mean?
Yeah, staff, maybe other customers.
Listen,
Yeah, all good.
how these.
I wasn't alert.
You weren't
Be
ready.
prepared, guys. Any second, they can take
season-
anything.
This
Yeah?
this round table. Be
Jane.
prepared.
Your watch.
Prepared.
Be prepared, guys.
Jane.
Can I answer
Why?
that?
though? Let's hear your
what do
answer
you
now.
think
Let's
of
hear
his
your
method?
answer.
No, what I was saying, first of all, how we source those team of professional pickpockets, I don't know.
Google.
Secondly, Arteta is becoming known more and more for his kind of out-the-box thinking.
The
He does
playing
his
the
weird
music
things,
at
the playing
the
music,
Universal
the
Training
dog.
Are you on
ground.
Amazon this year? Is he
The dog
Is he going
win.
for the cameras?
Have they nicked him?
Maybe they're on All or Nothing this year, and he's just
And
he's
he goes,
doing it for the
guys,
cameras.
nothing. We stole
Guys,
everything.
we have no content. We need to do something, guys. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, so he's known for his out-of-the-box thinking.
Can say that again.
Yeah, there's been a few examples. The dog, the playing of the music, now this. And the other point I was going to make, which is perhaps a bit more serious and a bit more relevant, is that I think that there's a security issue there. So basically what he's saying is these guys, nowadays, everybody, sure, professional footballers are the same. Your whole life is on your phone. And I would imagine if you was to get hold of a couple of those guys' phones and they're tapped into various WhatsApp groups, there's probably a wealth of information that you could get that could possibly do damage.
I don't think
No, hold
he's
on,
doing
hold
that.
on.
This
I don't
is
think
this
he's-
is taking
You're
a turn.
moving-
No,
Yo,
but hear me
let
out,
him land,
hear me
let
out,
him
hear me out,
land.
hear me
I
out.
like
So,
this.
no, hear me
see
out.
this.
So what I'm saying is if
see it.
some unscrupulous people got hold of that, not only could they get hold of information.
Go get passcodes and all that.
Hang on. That is tactical information. That could be information that is sensitive to the club. So I think what he's saying is that, listen, you guys need to be aware of your circumstances, aware of what you're doing.
That
You know what I mean?
impact
It's
could-
just.
I'm gonna
cost you
tell you-
I'm just.
I'm gonna
Hey,
tell- I'm gonna tell
let
you
him
that from
land. It could
experience.
cost them points next season.
I'm gonna tell you
If
that from
California's
experience.
From
phone has
pickpocketing
got-
No, not put pickpocket.
No, but can you not see where I'm going with
I
that?
know where
There'll be
you're coming from.
I know where you're
information.
coming from.
But
There'll be
right,
information
I'm
on
gonna
those
tell- I'm gonna
phones that
tell
could
you
be
this now.
sensitive.
You don't remember Bielsa?
There is people
Spygate.
that are within that club, and your club, and your club, and your
100%.
club, that has that information and they share it readily
100%.
anyway.
You're
So,
saying that
moles.
these
I think
guys
the
are
method.
friends.
I think
Moles
the
out
method
here.
of the
Talking.
exercise was if you get your, something goes out your pocket or something, be alert on the pitch, guys.
Bit late. when
Yeah,
you
I'm
did
sure
it.
there's that as
Okay,
well.
but
I'm sure there's that
can,
as
can
well.
I not eat my meal
Well,
in peace?
apparently not. Apparently
No,
not.
when I go out on a football pitch, I'm preparing for people nicking my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm eating my fucking
I'm eating my food.
bolognese,
Yeah, that's
mate.
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So
Don't
if
drink
you-
the garlic
eat in
bread.
peace.
Where's the
All
garlic
right,
bread?
by way of an example, remember
They
the
gotta eat like this
embarrassment.
now.
Remember the embarrassment that was caused to Raheem Sterling when he had his phone nicked, and they discovered, or was it his something to do with his
I
salary?
remember Tevez getting his salary
Sterling had
slip.
his
They went
pay-
through
yeah.
his bin and found his salary
Right,
slip.
Yeah.
Apparently, Raheem Sterling was a bit careless, left one of his wage slips lying around. Somebody got hold of it, and it was all over how much he earns.
Surely
this,
it's
that, and the other.
digital these days as well.
Sure, but
Paper.
yeah.
Well, you searched it up the other day. Got some great figures,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
you?
true. Digitally.
But imagine
Go
Alex.
through their bins.
Let's be clear, mate. And it's not just Alex, all of us. If we had our phones stolen, I would imagine there could be some information on there that you would
That's
not want.
what he's trying
It
to
just,
do,
it
man.
just wasn't. The
No,
point.
I'm just trying to.
We see your
I'm
point.
thinking out aloud. I think he's trying to make the
only
players
work-
aware to be
I-
more
I
careful.
think-
I think it's a very.
It's definitely just a.
I think it's just a
Ignore-
mental preparation.
Very David
I like
Brent-esque.
some of his,
Very.
like
Yeah.
some of
Yeah. Where's
his,
your phone, mate?
some of his
Here it is.
methods, like the dog win. You know what I mean? Like the fact
It didn't work.
No, no.
When
But
does
it has a little.
When do we
bit.
sell the dog?
They've changed his
no,
name.
but the dog win.
They've
It's
changed
Called
his name.
second now.
I heard stories about it. It's like to bring it as a family, and you can't deny it that the Arsenal of these days are a lot better than Arsenal of the old days. You know what I mean?
Would a-
So
would a cat have worked?
no,
Let's
but
just
It's
stick
very
with-
Brendan Rodgers.
They're just a cringe
I don't-
club.
it's
very
Everything you
Brendan
do
No, but
is so
can I
cringe.
just say, in the
Just cringe
final
my whole
analysis,
self.
right? Can I just say this? In the final
Cringe fan
analysis,
base,
he's
cringe
a
soul.
quirky guy, and he's got these sort of mad professor ideas. I think that's what it's.
But can I ask though, with the dog, seriously, how long does the dog have?
He's gonna have to- he's
win?
gonna have to be
Because
rehomed.
the contract should What's the contract on the dog?
The-
How long
the-
does the
the-
dog have
the-
to
Swap
win?
with Gus.
How long does the dog have to win?
He's surely got to go to City. Like,
that's-
if that dog wants to win things, he's going to have to go to City.
If you don't win something
Like
this
every
season,
other
you need
player.
to sell the
Every
dog.
other-
If you don't win something this season, he's
As I said, I just
like
think he's a
that.
quirky guy with some mad
if
professor
Arsenal got a dog
ideas.
called Win, you must have a goose called Flap.
Oh, I like that, Nick. I like that. Also, do you remember the introduction when Brendan Rodgers came to Liverpool? Right, he stood out in front of all the players and went, guys, I've got 3 envelopes. Actually, he's not Scottish, he's Northern Irish. So I haven't really nailed that accent. Character. He said, I've got 3 envelopes, and in these envelopes are 3 names of players that are going to let us down this season. Make sure you're not in the envelope. And everyone looked around and thought, what? Doesn't even really make sense what you're even saying.
So he's already
how do you know the names?
predicted his flops.
Yeah, it's a mind game thing, right? I think this one, the pickpocket thing, is wild.
It is
How
wild,
is
but
that
I've given
supposed
you
to be
what I
prepared,
think.
be alert? People are scanning it all the time.
That
No,
Brendan
but
Rodgers,
Alex, I also gave you...
Paranoid.
that Brendan Rodgers one's silly as well. 'Cause
No,
if
that
someone
was
goes and gets the
stupid.
envelope and opens it and sees their name in it, I'm handing in transfer
No, but
request
bro,
that day.
there was no names.
no names.
That's the whole
There was no
point.
names, so
They're
that's
blank
dumb.
envelopes.
Stupid.
Exactly, I'm saying
So
it was
dumb.
stupid.
No, but
Look
with
what
the
happened to
phone
him.
thing, I also gave you a more serious side to that as well, which I think could be behind.
But
the
Laurie, how are
reasoning.
they getting in their phones with no passcodes?
That mate, they can get in.
Yeah, they can get in them.
They can
you
get in
know
them.
that.
Face
Yeah, you
ID.
can- yeah, you can-
And listen, let's all be honest. It is quirky. It's a
Yeah.
bit more than left field, if you like. But you know what? If he ends up winning the title, people are going to look back
Don't you
and
dare
and
try and say if they end up winning the title, the pickpockets will have to.
No,
take
no, no,
credit
no.
for
What
it.
I'm saying
Come on,
is,
bro. It's
the
ridiculous.
guy is
mate.
a man that clearly likes to think so-called outside the box. If he wins a title, people will be writing books and saying this guy's revolutionised the way of thinking. He does things that other
I'm
managers
sorry,
don't.
No Arsene
I
Wenger,
think
I'll be
it's
honest.
ludicrous.
No
It's
Arsene
just
Wenger.
I think
mental.
it's-
Arsene
Well,
Wenger
yeah.
Arsene Wenger changed football. You can say what you want about Arsene Wenger. Even as a Spurs fan, I will always give full credit to Arsene Wenger because he literally changed English football and football worldwide for
More
that.
food, though,
If I'm looking at
nutrition.
Arteta, I mean, he's literally just trying to copy Pep and then adding these weird
Yeah.
little cringe things in. So
Yeah,
until you
you-
actually then go and win something.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Well, that's what I just said. If he ends up
And I
winning
don't
the
mean the
title,
dog.
all these cringy, quirky things that
Yeah.
we're all
If
laughing
not,
at now,
it's just cringe,
people will be
and it's
writing
still
books
cringe.
in 10 years' time and saying this man, his level of thinking is such that
They better not be
he
writing
thinks
books.
outside the
I
box.
don't
I'll be
think
real.
they'll be
They better
writing
not
a
be
book
writing
about
no
that.
books about that.
Nah.
I just, it's a bit awkward at the end when the pickpockets are standing at the door going, there you go.
you go, mate.
Go on, Ben. Back to the sunbed.
They'll never
for you,
trust
mate.
those people again.
Just stay alert.
There's so many questions.
It's
I've got.
giving
A
you
team
something
of-
to talk about,
A
isn't
team
it?
of pickpockets. Where do you go to find them? How do you dress them up?
Road.
How did they actually steal?
Yards and find them on the Holloway Road. He only has to
You
walk
can
outside
get
the
anything.
Emirates. You get 50 pickpockets
You can get
if you
anything
want.
on Google.
Attenzione, pickpocket.
Attenzione.
Yeah, you can get anything on Google if you look.
No, I think it's a bit of fun. It's
Yeah.
a bit of fun. They're all getting their stuff back, and he's
Hilarious.
just making a point. I think I quite like that.
I think
sort
he's
of thing.
creating trust issues.
Players
Yeah,
these
that's
days don't go anywhere without their phones like this, though. Whenever they're
believe how
walking
deeply
into
we're-
training.
I can't
Trust,
believe how
there's
deep-
trust issues in the
What a
dressing
It's
deep
really
dive we've done
intriguing.
into this.
Arsenal
I
gonna
don't think it's
implode.
about the phones. I don't think it's about the jewellery. I don't think it's about the chains.
It's not. It's about making sure you're alert on the
Yeah,
pitch.
just
Don't get,
giving a
don't get,
message.
you know,
just giving a
don't
message.
get
I heard they
turned,
took
don't
Ben
you?
White
Wouldn't trust my
snuff.
teammates after that
I wouldn't.
exercise. Not passing.
We
Zen.
got to move on from this. Surely.
No, let's move
He's
on.
giving this
Let's
cringe
move on.
images.
Honestly,
I
it's
can't.
just
It's got
wild.
you talking,
It's wild.
isn't it?
So cringe.
Big
You
up,
won't win
big
Feeling
up.
nauseous.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Connor, that is not Liam or Noel. It looks like it's all tied up. He's completed his medical.
Yeah, he's
He's
gone.
going to be holding that shirt up very soon for the Los Colchoneros. Any last parting words?
Just much appreciation for the professionalism, hard work. He's
running around.
Nah, that's out of order, Laurie. That's out of order.
No, he was a credit. He was a credit. When players come up through the academy, I think from age 6 and they end up wearing the armband, having their names sang, and they get a banner. I think you can't really ask for much more. Obviously, trophies would have been the extra bonus, but bad timing, unfortunately. But you can't have a bad word to say about the kid. He's literally just gone out there, maximised every ounce of his ability, which you can't say the same for some players. He's never kicked up any fuss, no unprofessionalism, even though it's been quite obvious for a long time that the hierarchy have tried to pull the rug out, from underneath him quite a few times with moves to Everton, which was never going to happen.
Wow.
But
Tottenham.
he's remained professional. He's delivered. Last season he improved. I think he was much better than the season before, and I think he's got a great move out of it. I don't think we have to have the expectation that every Cobham graduate has to retire here. I think they should get a bit of respect if they give it. But he's got a great move. I think he's going to do brilliant there. So
Do you think he
But
settles
you
in,
know,
learns
what
the
the ironic
language?
thing about Conor Gallagher is he actually put in his best work at Crystal Palace. I don't even think you could argue with that.
Yeah, but I think the way
It was a shorter
the way
sample
Palace,
size, though.
yeah, maybe so, yeah. But I think the way Palace were playing then suited him a lot better as well. I think he suits that type of style. And even last season we were quite a transitional team as well, so it wasn't too dissimilar. But yeah,
Do you think he gets stuck in? You know, he's
He
in
does.
the tapas places. He's eating the local food. He's learning
like
the
Bellingham?
language.
Is he gonna do all the?
Well, Bellingham's fluent.
Yeah, he's
after a season.
I mean, how comes he didn't learn German?
That's
Dortmund
true.
weren't big
That's
enough,
a good-
huh?
No, he did learn
Did he
some
learn
German.
German?
I've seen an
Okay,
interview
fair,
with him
fair.
doing some bits in German.
No, I think he will. I think
Because that helps, bro.
yeah, it does help.
It must
And
help.
He, as much as he might be disappointed that he's leaving Chelsea because he didn't want to leave, I think he's got to completely now just immerse himself into that Atletico Madrid team, and I think he will. I think he suits them to the ground. If I could have put Conor Gallagher
you
anywhere,
are right.
I would have put him in Atletico, or I would have put him in maybe a Klopp Liverpool team in Henderson's position. I think he could have done.
Well, he
the
was
same-
linked
the
to
same- the
Liverpool at
same
one
job.
point. I remember.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying with him. He's one of those players that I think can reach a semi-final of a Champions League or be in a title race for an Atletico or for Liverpool. But I wouldn't see him doing it for a Man City's Pep. So it just depends
I
on
agree.
what style and what way you're playing, whether you're going to get the best out of him or you're not.
Yeah, I think he's moved on from being almost butthurt by leaving his boyhood club. Now he's like, right, new page, new start, new country, new club, new language. Probably get a new hairstyle.
He's got a great contract. I think I heard he got 200k a week. So
Wow.
What?
yeah, apparently that was the report. So yeah, he got a great contract.
What?
What was he on at Chelsea then?
He wasn't
One-
on even 100, I don't think.
Fair enough.
Wow.
But Atletico got money now. You not see what they're doing?
Exchange rate
money.
business.
Yeah.
They
tax.
got money.
But
Oh, yeah.
I
They do
think
have money.
Football's going the wrong way, man. People like Conor Gallagher can earn £200,000 a week.
Ooh,
Really?
controversial
It's a
from
big
the
statement,
Hawkinator.
What would you
Speaking
say,
of,
150?
yeah, what would you go with?
100 grand?
Nah, he's
Eddie
150.
Nketiah levels?
He's a 120 to
No way.
150 player.
Yeah.
No way.
If I was his age,
Not
I'd be
for
looking
me.
for
20 years ago, he'd be on
Marcus Rashford
£4 grand a week.
£350 a week now.
Who?
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I know. And that's
Sanchez
ridiculous.
on that as well.
Ridiculous as that.
Kurt Zouma on his way to Saudi.
Yeah.
Shabab Al Ali, they've agreed a fee with West Ham, set to sign and do his medical.
Yeah.
Catastrophic.
Ooh,
What's that?
controversial.
Yeah,
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Right.
What's catastrophic?
Remember when he
I missed that one, Laurie.
Missed that one. That one went.
You know when he came to Anfield, I shouldn't laugh because at the end of the day a cat did get abused, right? But they were throwing inflatable cats onto the pitch.
It's not funny.
Oh, we had it for a season. I've got loads of them.
It's disgusting.
It's interesting that the West Ham fans didn't really give him too much chip for that, did they?
Do you know what? I wasn't happy with that. I'll be honest, I wasn't
Says a
happy
lot
with that.
about you as a person
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
happy to do shit like
Absolutely.
that.
Disgusting.
But you
Crazy.
have, I think it gets to a point where you have to back him. When he's getting stick
They
from
were singing ironic songs
Shouldn't have
and
kicked
stuff
cat.
like
Yeah,
that.
no, he should have kicked the fucking cat.
Disgusting.
That's for sure. Yeah, you shouldn't kick any animal, by the way.
Absolutely not.
Nothing. No, nothing. They can't defend themselves, especially a man of his size. But I wasn't happy. I would have liked to seen him sold then. I was that angry,
He
but
should have been.
I like him as a player. I liked him. His knees are fucked. His knees are.
That injury
Yeah,
that he
probably
had
from
for
that
us
as well.
kicking.
wild.
Yeah.
The injury that he had for us was crazy.
What's that? What was that?
Oh, that
film?
was a
Don't
nasty
F with
one.
Oh, it
cats.
was awful to watch.
Don't fuck with cats.
Yeah.
It was just
Damn, bro.
But he was a good
he's
player
gone.
for us.
He's.
though, like,
I
before the
watched
injury.
him at Dagenham Redbridge a couple of weeks ago. He played 45 minutes of football. He came out of the changing room to watch the second half. He's got two massive, great big eye straps. Now, I've got knee injuries myself, and I've said this for a long time. I can see the way that Zouma moves. You know, the way he runs, the way the flexibility in his knees. And I've got very similar injuries. I picked up very similar injuries at 24 as what he has there. And I know that when you get to this age, it's when
Downhill.
you start feeling it. Yeah, and it becomes very, very difficult to start to move properly. You know, I've got sort of like 70% flexibility in my knee. As a footballer, you can't be.
Do you
doing
think? I mean, listen, going to Saudi, it changes his family's life, changes his life. But the Saudi club, do you think they know about these injuries?
I don't
They
know.
must do.
They
How's
probably-
he passing the medical?
They probably do. But I'd
another
say
name.
the pace of the
Pace
they're
of
not
the
just
league.
signing him for his attributes. They're signing him
I
for
hear
the
that.
name.
I
They're
hear
signing
that.
him for the eyes on the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
There's a lot more facets to it than just we want to win football matches.
How's your
game
knees?
is the game is
Shot
totally
him out,
different.
mate.
Shot.
Get it.
But how many
Sell
followers you
enough
got on Instagram? Okay, you know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean.
the game is totally different out
The-
there.
yeah, the
Like, you
game's
can't
different.
play at. It's like when players go abroad and they might go to a slightly slower paced league. It's because they can't cut it in the Premier League. The physicality of it, the pace of it. So for Zouma to go to Saudi or overseas in that area, then that's probably a good move. You'll still be able to play.
I don't even see there, because you see so many clubs signing good players, across the board. It's not one club that
Money.
are scooping up all
Money
the players.
talks.
I don't even think it's they want to win the league or anything. I don't think there's any competition.
I
It's
don't
just
think they give a toss.
bringing
Let's all have a good
brand
time.
recognition.
Well, they're definitely trying to grow the game in that part of the world.
Yeah, they definitely
The more
are. Yeah,
names
they-
But you
can
can't
get,
say
the
it's
better.
you can't say it's a competitive league. Like if you're going, in my opinion, if you're going
According to
join
Ronaldo, it is.
Saudi,
Ronaldo lost the final.
Well,
Ain't
he can
easy.
do what he wants, but if you're going to go and join Saudi or the UAE or any league that is in that region, you're being offered an absurd amount of money, which I totally understand. It's generational wealth that carries down for years to come. I understand that, but you can't say that as you're going there for a footballing reason. It's like when people used to
That's
go to
why
the MLS.
Henderson got so criticised.
Yeah, like it's when you used to go to the MLS, right? The MLS is a far more competitive league than probably the Saudi league is.
I'd say.
But
yeah.
But then it's
taken time for it to
yeah,
grow.
of course, it's taken time.
They're
but
trying to build a brand.
they're trying to build a brand, and they're
That's
doing it
it.
with all the funds that they possibly can do.
yes.
They're not bothered if you got, Ledley King probably could have gone and played there. I'm not being funny.
probably
If we
play
went
there
back,
now.
if we went back in time, where he was training one day a week and he could, he wouldn't train at all and he would come and play on a Saturday. If the Saudi league existed, them in that same capacity,
Probably right,
he could go and
that's a
play there. He
great
could go and
point.
play one game a week.
I'm telling you
That's
now, if David Beckham announced tomorrow, I'm going to come back and have a
They
few
sign him.
games. Someone
100%,
sign him.
absolutely.
I
What
guarantee
was the
it.
club that Ronaldo plays for? They wear the yellow
Al
shirts.
Nassr.
I have seen a few like replica shirts around.
Yeah,
near where
Yeah,
I
you
live.
would, and
everywhere.
that's because
Yeah,
they're
so,
following. They're following the
Yeah,
player,
yeah.
and that's what that
And
league
that's
is.
what, the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they support
They su-
players.
It's
yeah.
very F1
Yeah.
there. They support
Yeah.
the driver or they support the player, and that's it. Rather than
Fuck knows who's supporting Guy Zouma. He's been kicking cats about.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Some
But-
scouting going on there.
I'm sorry, but you're not. No one is going to play in a Saudi league or.
No, they're
unless
going
it's
there
for the
to win
money.
things.
and that's
No.
what you're not going there to win anything.
They're going there to win trophies.
Yeah.
They'll probably
not
be in
about
the
the
Champions
money.
League in a few
They
years
probably
anyway.
will, probably.
By the way, we're still not at 1,000 likes. If you want your super chats read out, get them right
Giving
up.
you a very long show.
We've
today
given you a
as
long
well.
show. A couple more super chats. JJ Matisse, be happy this season. We get a chance to be the only club with all European trophies, champions of all 3 European Cups. You'll never sing that. Are you going to have that or? taking
I
that?
would rather be in the Champions League. I'll be
Yeah,
honest. I'd
fair
much
enough.
rather be in the Europa League. So it's going to be a very painful journey potentially.
Be
watching
careful
those-
what you say.
Watching those games at 4:30.
We will be there.
The quality.
4:30
quality
games.
We will be
People
there.
haven't even finished. It's not even rush hour.
You'll
It's not
have
even- it's
to-
not. It's
It's not even
it's,
rush.
It's not
It's
even
tea,
work
it's
finished.
tea time.
So
It's
when
tea
we're
time.
doing
Really.
when we're back to like our normal schedule and we're doing our Thursday
We'll
show,
see.
will you watch it here? We have time to get home.
I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll have to have a.
Do you know
We'll
who?
have to have a
Do
conversation.
you know
with
who you'll
production.
be playing against?
I don't know. Well, we're playing the losers of a playoff right now. So,
But
Why
who's
the
playing in
losers?
the playoff right now?
oh brother, I was here last show. The draw was done. So that tells you all you need to know
Did you
about
know who-
where my interest is in Conference League right now.
Wow.
Just give me the game and I'll watch it. I'm not interested in all the extra foolishness. Please.
Foolish.
They don't even have their own song.
Yo,
UEFA don't even
kickoffs.
respect the competition.
They just have the Europa League.
They
song,
just
innit?
run the same song.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, Nicky, it's true. They run the same song.
Copyright,
How
man.
can you as a big federation, you have a whole new competition and you just give the same song?
Why don't
You
we
even
come up
have
with a song?
You know, it don't cost
sure
much
we
to get
could come
someone
up
to
with
make
a
a new
song.
beat. It don't cost much to get someone to
make
make
a
a
beat.
new beat.
Conference League.
You know,
Something like that.
Nice.
something.
We'll
Anything.
when-
KG could have done it.
I was
How
going to
much
say,
did
we'll
KG?
get KG on the sound.
We
we'll
even
make
had
a song for you.
We had KG and Expressions do a lovely Arsenal song last season. How much did it cost?
It's
you know.
been 20 years.
So what? UEFA can't afford KG and
Production
Expressions.
wise, probably a couple $100 quid.
Yeah. So
but
what?
apart
We
from
can't
that,
get that for it's
jumping
crazy.
in the booth, studio hours.
It's mad.
It's
I
quite cheap.
wouldn't be
these days.
surprised if they just give us the same trophy
Maybe
as
they're,
Europa League.
maybe they're thinking about it.
No, but you know what? If you enter the competition and win it, I'm sure you.
Yeah.
I'll see if
But
I,
if
I
you
hope to
don't-
find something. I
Just
hope
win it.
something happens.
But if
I
you
It's
hope
don't-
I-
not, it's not easy to win that.
Well,
I hope I
competition,
feel
you know.
some-
They lost to COVID.
No,
We lost to Atalanta in Europa.
Atalanta.
We did it on
Villa
purpose.
got beat by Olympiacos last year. We
Yeah.
thrashed. It's not easy. It's
Don't
not
turn
easy.
your
you know.
nose
Don't look
up.
down your nose at it.
Don't turn your nose.
I
You're
hope
not
so.
the old Chelsea.
When you go
anymore.
away
Listen,
and
we
you
got
play
2
against
stars.
insert team here,
You got beat by
you better
Luton
go and
last
win.
year.
True.
So did many.
Viewpoint
Team.
says Alex Slot had the Liverpool team doing boxing, and didn't the keepers wear futuristic glasses in training? Stop judging Arteta. Yes, but that's on the pitch. This is in a restaurant in Prezzo, and you're getting man coming in and stealing your iPads.
I'm
and
not
that.
sure if it's Prezzo.
Other restaurants are available. Viewpoint then says Abby, Spurs players were celebrating 3 games in. It's cringe.
Yeah, it was cringe.
I did forget about that.
I also
They
remember
were
when
doing
your
the
lot.
whole-
You remember when your lot did it? Was it West Brom?
Sure, but look
was
what
it
we
West
won.
Brom? Yeah, but
It
at the same
worked.
time, you
Yeah.
didn't win it that year, did you?
had the families on
Didn't
the
win it
pitch.
that year.
3 games in. Way.
It was cringe.
Way.
Absolutely, it was
3
cringe.
games.
When?
At least
Cringe.
ours was in February.
It was cringe.
Do you know what I mean?
It was
So
cringe.
West Brom
Sit it down
Joy
with
talking
rain.
about.
Yeah, the West Brom.
Yeah, but look
was
what
wrong.
we went on and did.
Glass houses don't throw stones.
I don't think you can say that.
You
because-
literally did that. Remember
Alright,
when you went?
go win a trophy. I didn't want to
win
say
a
it.
trophy that year, did you?
We did actually.
Did you?
Yes.
What did you win?
Oh, we got to 2 finals and lost them both.
Oh, so you didn't
So
win
you
a
didn't?
trophy?
No, we didn't.
So you didn't win a trophy.
But
Cool,
what did
cool,
we
cool,
win?
cool.
We won everything. No point
But
in
you
naming
didn't win
it.
anything at that time.
Sure, but it's the foundations.
Absolutely, we
So
were
you
top of the
must.
league at that
So
point.
by your
It's
own logic, you
viral.
must. This year, you must
We
win a
must
trophy.
win a trophy. I
Thank you.
will be the
That's
first
all I
person
needed.
to say it. We must. I say it
Aminor
every
says,
week.
AGT, I hope we steal Zubimendi from you. Glory, glory, Manchester United.
United.
No chance.
They even in for him.
No chance. Just quickly before we go, Enzo Fernandez steps up. He's now been promoted as Chelsea's vice captain
What?
for this season.
Wild. Try and make some of that money.
On the
though, innit?
basis
My
of
God.
Don't know.
Chelsea.
If I speak,
On,
Chelsea
on the
are-
basis of not only what the performance is, but what he's
if I
just done,
speak,
and the
mate.
people he's just upset,
That's
and
what
they
I'm
made him the
saying.
vice captain.
Timing's a bit odd, I'll be honest.
Especially at a time like now, I
Rest
don't need to
said
go
the
into
squad
it.
respect
Have
him.
you seen what's been going on in the world
Didn't look
recently?
like it.
I saw that. I had a little snigger and just kept scrolling. I
Wow.
was like, wow, interesting.
Especially in light of...
I've got transfers to cover. So, but yeah,
No, come on, you got to make a statement about it. What are you saying, bro?
bro. What do I say to that? Like,
You need time to digest, bro. Allow him a day.
what do I even say to
On
that? It's
Monday,
just-
you'll have an answer.
To be fair,
He's not being sold, so he's in the squad, isn't he? We have to.
Vice captain is wild.
That is...
Who's
I'm
the captain?
very...
Who's the captain?
The captain is Reece James, and we know
What?
he's good for
For those 2 games
We know
a
he's good
season.
for a suspension because he's actually missing the first 3 games.
he must have a loud voice to shout from the
So he's- so-
physio's
yeah,
room.
so-
But this is
So realistically,
this
he'll have the
is-
suspension. He'll come out. He'll get injured, and
So
then
Enzo's the captain?
Enzo's captain. Yeah.
This-
That
this
means
is-
that when they
who's the
do
vice
the...
captain?
when they do all
Probably
the...
Chilwell.
Chilwell was
Hang
the
on,
vice
hang on,
captain.
hang on.
But even he doesn't.
He doesn't
Yeah.
play.
No,
That's
hang on.
why Gallagher was captain for so
How
many games
ironic
because
it
Chilwell
is
was
when
always
we have
injured.
the all kick it out stuff and that, you're going to have Enzo being at the forefront, doing
Yeah.
all the ceremonies. And
Oh, just
You couldn't write it, you know.
no.
that
It's,
is-
it's actually more beautiful than if you could. What's
Yeah,
happened to
you
Chelsea?
could not
It
even
is so
think to
beautiful.
write-
no, but as a Chelsea fan,
wild.
especially as a person of colour, do you not feel somewhat disappointed?
He definitely
I
does.
feel
but
disappointment every day.
He definitely does.
It's just I feel disappointment
To
every
this
day.
day.
At this point, I've spoken to you about this before, but you just get numb to this kind of stuff. You just see this type of stuff, and you're just like, you just have to scroll on. Honestly,
That is definitely a shaky
Scroll
head moment.
on.
I've got to say this: Chelsea are so far removed from
Reality.
reality.
it's just such a
Society.
The
Reality.
way they
money.
treated Gallagher, I said this the other day, doing that when they've got players, they're just so far removed from everything. From everything.
Enzo vice captain is the history of
Wow.
Chelsea, says D Sinclair. Listen, we'll round it up there. It's been a great show. Thank you, Nicky. Thank you, Abby, Matisse, Laurie. Thank you at home for watching. We
You've ended it
will
on a very positive
just
note.
to
see
just to
you
add-
guys
No,
on
pass.
Monday.
Oh,
Take
taking
care.
my-
All the best. I'm off.
Pickpocket.